You stupid bitch. Yeah, you're a stupid bitch. You stupid bitch.
Welcome to this week's episode of Stupid Bitches Say What, the Aussie podcast about everything and nothing, but always with wine, and your hosts, Skylee Collett and Sean Hipkins. Sean made a boo-boo in that.
What was that?
You missed out.
About everything. I did
and
say
nothing.
nothing about everything, but always with wine.
Luckily, I'm a professional and can think on my feet.
And we've said this 44 times by now.
Yeah, so we're about up to that, aren't we?
This week, it's What's the Haps, the episode where we discuss the events that piqued our interests over the last 4 weeks. Listen in as we discuss the goings-on with pop sensation Katy Perry's Eye, the Great Line Escape from Sydney's Taronga Zoo, Taylor's new Midnights album, what's going on with Netflix, the ARIA nominations, Kanye's latest scandals, Christmas shopping please, and the Luckiest Girl Alive movie. We also pay our respects to comedic and LGBT plus icon Leslie Jordan.
Oh, so sad.
May he rest in power. I think they say now. Rest in power, dude. What you drinking, Sky? And tell me, is it SJP?
No, fuck SJP. That was fucking shit. I didn't even finish the glass. I made Tyler scull it. He liked it.
I poured mine out. The bottle and the glass.
You know what? The Prosecco will make a good Christmas gift for someone. Because it's not open. You'll be like, oh, have you tried the new SJP? Here you go.
I thought you'd really like it.
When
Kylie,
you're going to go to some
for you.
random Christmas party or, you know, oh, Secret Santa at work.
Oh, no, I missed out on our Secret Santa by a week.
Oh, bugger.
It might end up in your stocking.
Fuck you. It was my idea. You stupid bitch. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 drinks tonight. And the reason I'm doing 2 drinks is because this one is alcohol-free. And I got it in my box.
Yes. Came right out of there, didn't it?
Amusing. I got it in my...
I heard your box isn't very, very diverse, though. Well, that was what we said when you revealed your box last episode.
I thought you were talking about something I might have said when I was drunk on Saturday afternoon. About my box being diverse.
Not diverse enough.
Oh, look, I'm not even drunk because I only had half a glass of dumb SJP 7% alcohol wine and I'm laughing like a schoolgirl.
You'll hear about it in our next episode, people. Just don't do it.
It was my health food box. Anyway, so I got this dumb alcohol-free yuzu sake. So have you tried the craze thing that's the sake at the moment? And I can't remember if we talked about this when I did my gift box the other week.
No, I don't think so.
So you can get it's like an apple sour flavor. There's a cherry flavor. I think there's a strawberry, maybe a kiwi. Anyway, it's like this really potent. It's all the kids are doing it.
Oh, that's be cool.
And when I was at my cousin's 18th birthday, some of the little side parties we were having in the caravan, the cabins, the same place where we got married, they were drinking it and kept making me, try this one, this one's apple, try this one's strawberry, Sky. Didn't love it, didn't hate it though.
Yeah.
But this is what it is, but this is non-alcoholic, and it doesn't have flavor. Let's see how we go, hang on.
And it's got, yes, you can, written on the can. Oh, should I like?
Oh no.
That one's going straight to the pool room.
Oh, that was nasty. I should have taken a little tiny sip, not a gulp. Oh no. Anyway, what I'm really drinking is not that. It's one of my faves.
Oh, it's our Eurovision Prosecco.
Eurovision Prosecco Plus.
Oh, and some updates with Eurovision. We heard Australia Decides might be on the 11th of March next year.
Whoop.
Did I tell you about the guy who told me he was going to Eurovision next year? At the gala dinner? After I did my... after I did the bursaries. That shot right out of her hands. Did it hit the roof?
It hit me on the head.
That's going to be a good one for the outtakes.
It was one of those, like, you know, when sometimes you pull them, you got to give them a bit of a tug.
Yeah.
This one, just as soon as I twisted it, went, I had no time to hold it back. It was out.
But your face didn't even follow the cork. You just looked at the camera going, oh. Oh, that'll be a good one to rewatch.
You'd think we were maggot right now, right?
I know, I feel
But
quite pissed too.
But we're not. We only had one glass of wine.
I had 1.5 of that shitty wine.
What were we saying?
Oh yeah,
Eurovision.
so and you know, at the end of the speech, I said about my commitment in return will be to always run a Eurovision sweep at the office.
Yes.
So after I went down, this guy came running over to me and he goes, oh my God, I love Eurovision. I'm going to Eurovision in Liverpool next year. I've already got my accommodation. It's like, you should come. You can just sleep on our floor. I'm like, okay, first of all, I need to get to Liverpool. Second of all, I need to get a ticket to Eurovision. And I'm pretty sure they're sold out by now. I don't think it's happening. But he kept saying, you should come, you should come.
Third of all, do you know him very well?
Him.
Him, I mean, do you know him very well?
Not really, but I know he's very well associated with the college. So I know of him. Yeah.
Sure. Look, you don't need any new besties, okay? You've got enough.
Oh, look.
So what are you drinking, you dumb, stupid bitch?
Well, I'm sticking with the whites, but I'm on a bigger bender tonight. This is Below the Clouds Pinot Gris 2020. It's a Marlborough, New Zealand. It's a naked wine, I think.
Does it have angels on the cover there? Was that angels that I saw in the clouds?
No, I think it's, just some funny shaped clouds and then a bit of a interesting landscape. But it looks like that's a polar bear wearing sunglasses right there.
Cool, yeah.
Speaking of naked wines, I got my Christmas delivery.
Oh, yes, you did mention that. Did you get your extra special gift with it?
I did. So I got 4 crystal champagne glasses.
Oh, I love crystal.
We got this bottle of old school gin, Bent Road. And then a couple of other sort of nice wines, plus then the 12-pack. You are probably going to be disgusted by this, but it did cost $380. I just had it in my Angel account and booked it back in June and just didn't spend any of my Angel things. So I just let it build up with the normal deductions till it got to there.
So you only got 12 bottles of wine for $300?
I know. I got 14 bottles of wine, a bottle of gin, the 4 crystal glasses, and something else. I can't remember.
Oh, I thought they were freebies. I thought the gin and the glasses were freebies.
They were
discounted.
Freebies on the thing, but it's all like premium wines and stuff like that. And I thought, fuck it, it's Christmas. You know,
that's a lot. That's a lot of dough. My last naked box cost me $160, I think.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Usually that's my
and I think I got like 15, 16 bottles. What's the max that you can get in a case with it? Because they always say to you, like, you have to have a minimum of 12, but then they keep going, you can add another 4 bottles. You can add another 3 bottles.
How about this special?
Got room for this.
Yeah. I think it's 15.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But this came in 2 boxes.
Oh, well, what if, because you had the glasses and the gin with it?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, no, but I was happy to do it just for Christmas. It's some nice vinos in there.
Sure.
And it's a mixed case too, which is nice.
Lovely. So where are we up to?
How's my week been?
How's your week been, stupid bitch?
The week has been good. We have started the week because it's officially November. Mariah has thawed out. So we started playing Christmas carols this week, much to Vinny's dismay, but it's just the season and he needs to get over it, please.
I thought Vincent would have been on board with that.
He's
never realised he wasn't on board. That happens every year we start playing Christmas carols, although I haven't started yet, mind you. I feel like I'm very jealous.
He does support my Christmas shenanigans, but he likes to sort of try and time it when I'm allowed to start getting festive, because I don't think, exactly. It's like, do you know who I am, bitch? The house will be decorated by the time we do our Christmas podcast special.
Nice.
So you'll see that in the background. Will be a nice Christmas grotto. Also, tomorrow morning, we have signed up with our dear friends Kim and Sam to do a pottery class that starts at 10:30 tomorrow at Holland Park West. So I think we go and make a mug and we get to bring the mug home and stuff. So that'll be
how much was that?
$60.
That's cool. I totally want to do that.
Yeah, it's something different and fun. So we thought, fuck it. So that'll be good. And also, I did want to just announce that Vinny and I are, as we've said in previous podcasts, committed to The Crown, viewing The Crown. We're up to season 2 now.
Ooh.
We have assigned our characters as to who we are. Vinny is Margaret.
And who are you?
I'm obviously Elizabeth Regina.
I'm Elizabeth. Vinny. Tyler says to me all the time, "You are so the queen."
That's what I do. Imagine that, like I'm Ob's a vaping queen. I'd be like, "Oh, hello."
She's a boss, though, isn't she? She's a boss.
She's total boss, and
yeah.
it's sad, like Margaret, because Vinny just loves Margaret. Because
I love Margaret too. Love
smoking, drinking, fucking party dog. Yes. And now we just walk around the house going, "Ow, ow," all the time.
What about mummy,
darling? Yes. It's very good. It's just Prince Philip still in the season 2. God, he was a bit of a dog, wasn't he? Like the whole letters that they did when they went on their cruising expedition and the rooting around and stuff like that.
Alleged. Well, it was more, I think, partying. I don't know that it was necessarily. I'd like to think that he maybe, entertained some women, like had drinks with them, maybe flirted. I'd like to think that he never really cheated on her. Whether or not that's true or not, I don't know, but that's how I feel.
And the way that they sort of portray it in the show is they show Mike, I think his advisor, because he's the one writing the letters. So
the Aussie, yeah.
They show him going off and fucking all the different women, but you never see Prince Philip walking off with a woman, except for when he has that interview with that chick who he thinks is a dumb blonde, and she just cuts him a new one.
Yes, like, yes. But what about how when the wife of the Mark, she goes up to the brothel, well, not the brothel, the gentleman's club, and is like, and I totally felt her in that moment. I was like, you left her with those 2 children. To gallivant around the world and have some respect.
And when they said you need to say it to a courtroom or a jury to sue for divorce, and she's like, I can't, I'll lose my job. But then she finds the letter and she's able to give her the letter. I'm like, bang.
Yeah.
And what about
how they have to sack him?
The Queen goes to her house.
Oh yes, because they were living in Malta together. Remember? The families, and they used to go to the shops together and everything. The kids all played and stuff like that before her father died, and she had to come back from Malta. So they were friends, yeah.
And I loved it when they're watching the video that Prince Philip had made for him with the notes to read to it when they're in Antarctica and that. And she's like, oh, isn't that silly? Look at Daddy. Isn't he silly? They're playing tennis.
But they seem to really, really love it. And I know it's a fictional retelling, but they were together until the end. And she died not that long after him in the end anyway. I do believe that they had a real true love story. I think it's beautiful. So you know who plays Margaret Thatcher, though, don't you?
Yes, Dana Scully, please.
I'm so excited for that. And the Diana storyline. So we're in season 3, like pretty much close to the end. But Diana doesn't come until season 4, and she's one actress for season 4. And in the newest season, she's a completely different actress.
Okay.
So she's only in it for 2 seasons before her obvious death.
Yes.
2 actresses both times, whereas every other time we've had the opportunity to have the same actor and actress for at least 2 seasons.
Yeah. No, we're pretty much doing 2 episodes a night at this stage during the week. Loving it. And Vinny's treating it like maths in the sense that he's like, oh, are we watching this again? But sits down and watches it and is fully invested, and like, not another episode, and then just fully invested in watching it and yada yada.
And sometimes it starts and it's a little bit slow and you're like, ugh, I don't know if I'm feeling this. And then it just picks up speed and you're completely hooked in the whole, you think it's going to be super, super boring. You're like, oh, I don't know if I can sit through all this. It seems a little bit too, drab and snooze fest. And then it just picks up and you're like, this is a great episode. They really know how to spin a story, don't they, the writers? It's
great. It's fantastic and super interesting. And I did a Google because I wanted to see if there was any gay characters that come into the Crown or alleged gay people in the Crown for obvious reasons. And apparently there was rumours that and we're not up to this part yet, but the guy that Margaret marries is meant to be bisexual. And I was
Oh, he
reading.
totally is. So you're not up to
We're
that.
not up to that yet.
Oh.
But I read there was one thing where someone said to her in an interview, "Oh, how's the Queen?" And this is in real life, and her response was, "Who? My sister, my mother, or my husband?" I love you, Margaret.
Really say that in real life?
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah, I love her.
Well, she yes, so if you're up to season 2, you'll be getting to the point where she meets him soon.
I think we just started before tonight's episode. We were watching an episode of The Crown, and I think she's met him at a dinner party.
Oh yes, okay, yeah, there you go.
How has your week been?
Look, it's been crazy. It's been hectic. I feel like I say that every week, right? But truly, I've had a hell of a couple of weeks.
You have, you poor
with
bitch.
with Link's injury, and he's on the mend, but it's been pretty full on. And Tyler started a new job. This is his second week.
How's it going?
Really good, really, really good.
Great.
He's loving it. So that's been really good. And tomorrow I'm going to meet the previous canteen manager of the rugby club.
Right.
At the premises. So I get to do a walkthrough of my new kitchen.
Yes. See what shoes you got to fill. And
do a little bit of a stock take.
Compared to you, I bet she's got very small feet.
I've actually met her. We did hang out one time. She was doing the food in the bar while I was buying 4 cans for $20 each time because I kept drinking through. And this is the rugby grand final where we all got sloshed together and she was working the bar. So I had a bit of a chat to her then. So I have met her before. But yeah, so I've got that tomorrow. But I think other than that, I'm seeing my dearest friend Nanny tomorrow night. She's coming over. We're gonna go through the records. We haven't done that since I've moved here, and she hasn't really seen my collection. She's come over heaps of times, but we've always gotten too busy with other stuff.
Yeah, I'll give her our love.
Yeah, so we're gonna go through the records and take a walk down memory lane with the tunes.
Like that. Love that.
Yeah, so that's pretty much my week in a nutshell.
Nice.
Would you like to go first with the What's the Haps topic plus?
All right. Well, let's start with Tay Tay and her new album Midnights, which has come out.
Do you know, I only knew that she had a new album out because I was reading, those false news stories on that Batuta thing that you tagged me in yonks ago. Now I'm obsessed with it.
Yes.
There was a story about the housemates turning off the electricity because the housemate Tay Tay fan has just been playing it nonstop since it came out because it's so critically acclaimed as being the most amazing album she's ever made, apparently, is what people are saying.
Well, that's interesting. Well, I will say, so since the album's been released, Swift is the first artist to ever accomplish the feat in Billboard's 64-year history, American Billboards for the music, filling the top 10 charts with her song for a week. With her
so 1 to 10 is all songs from that album.
From that album. She beat Drake, who in September 2021 claimed 9 of the Hot 100's top 10 spots for a week. So the first ever artist to do it. It's also the first time, and it's sad that it's not sad, it's great for Taylor, but it's the first time in Billboard history that a male artist hasn't been in the top 10 ever. It's kind of sad that it hasn't just been full. Yeah, I know, right?
So it's almost like she has like a cult hold 100%. Over people though, right? So she's got the young people coming up, she's got the old people who still love her, the mid-range people, like she's really that level. And look, there's certainly some Taylor songs that I enjoy.
There's a lot that I enjoy, yeah.
Yes, definitely. Would totally agree with that. Not a super fan of her in general. But now that everyone's talking about how amazing this album is, I feel like I need to download at least like the top 3 songs that everyone's listening to at the moment, just to check it out.
So another fun fact is she released the album on Kim Kardashian's birthday, which I thought was hilarious. Because about all the disputes between Taylor and Kim and Kanye. And
of course. I love that. Do you think that was on purpose?
Oh, 100%.
That is 100%. Awesome. That makes me actually completely change my opinion and think that she's way cooler than I actually ever really thought.
Because remember when Kim Kardashian released the footage of I mean, the recording of the phone conversation she had with Kanye, where he'd said he wanted to call her a bitch in a song, and she said yes, and then everyone sort of sent snakes to Taylor's Twitter account and stuff, calling her a snake because she lied, but then the actual full recording came out 3 years later or something, and she was
and it was
right.
just chunked out like they had just manipulated it.
Yes.
What a messed up couple of humans, hey?
Oh, big time. So I've been listening to the album while I've been working on Apple Music, and it's pretty good. There are a few catchy ones, but I haven't had as much passion for it as I had for our album Lover, which is still probably my favorite album, which is, it's got the man. I'd be complex, I'd be cool. If I was, if I was a man. I'm so sick of running as fast as I can.
No.
Knowing if I'd get there quicker if I were a man. It's really good. And You Need to Calm Down. You know that song. You need to calm down. You're being too loud. How have we never played these for you?
Well, see, I'm not a radio person. I can't handle all the talking. She says she does the podcast. No, but you know the PG shit that you have to hear from them, like all the fucking
stupid jokes. Yeah.
I hate it. So I stopped listening to the radio yonks. So now I don't see a lot of the new stuff because it's just really stuff that I pick up and I see coming up in my Spotify playlist that like look at the suggested stuff, or music that I just select over time and just put together. So I don't listen to a lot of new music. But do you know one song that I actually is on my playlist at the moment that I just grabbed recently from a suggested song for me is a Taylor Swift song. It's the Exile song, and it's with the guy, he's Aussie, and I always forget his name. That's a great song. Great song. It takes a couple of times. Yeah.
I love that song.
The one about the movie crying.
Yes.
This movie's played out. I've seen this movie play out this way before.
I love that. I love that.
That is a great song.
Yes,
what's his
so
name?
Good.
What's his name in it? He's the Aussie.
Let me Google.
I can't think of it.
Yeah, that is a great song. Bon Iver.
Oh, that's it, Bon Iver.
Have you seen the film clip?
No, I don't think I have.
It's really sort of sweet. It's like this big sort of like a drone view of this person just walking along this huge forest covered in snow path. It's really deep. It's a really good song. I love it.
This song is great. I'm obsessed with that song. And I just whacked it on because it came up as a suggestion. And the first few times it came, when you put new songs on, you just skip them sometimes because you're like, I'm not in the mood for this. I want an old song that I can sing along to. And then I'm always got my music on when I'm cooking and cleaning.
Yes.
And it's just really got to me. I'm like, I fucking love this song.
Folklore album, yeah. And it's I think I've seen this film before and I didn't like the ending.
That's it. I didn't like the ending.
You're not my homeland anymore. So what am I defending? Yeah, such a good song.
Great song.
After listening to this album, I didn't get the whole thing that it was, this is a phenomenon. I didn't get any bangers off it yet. But the more you listen to it, the more you love.
Absolutely.
And the Taylor fans, whatever they do, whenever she releases anything or tweets anything, is she always puts hidden meanings into shit. And so they just deconstruct that shit. They live for it. So they've probably done that with this album and found so many Easter eggs. Yeah. I also saw this article that I want to add to this piece from someone who went to school with Taylor Swift, who had some interesting things to say about her. Like apparently people hated her, as in her peers and not just rando internet folk. So because of where they lived and where they went to school and their proximity of that to Nashville, everyone knew someone in the music industry or someone trying to break into it. So when Taylor became super successful, she left the school and was homeschooled, and jealousy became a real big thing. Also, apparently the guys she was writing songs about in her earlier albums before she was dating Shawn Mendes,
John
Mayer and shit like that. She was writing songs about these guys that were still at school and they had a hit song about them of how much of a crud boyfriend they were and shit. So they all hated her. She did take the entire senior class of 2009 to the CMA Awards. So she would have been 19 at the time. And it was when she became the youngest artist to receive the Entertainer of the Year award, plus other awards. So yeah, suck it, haters.
Well, that's kind of one way to really stick it to them, isn't it? To be like, well, you don't have to come, but who would turn up? Fucking
exactly, everyone.
An invitation to be like and they would have been VIPs too. Like they would have had great seats. They would have been fed and, really taken care of as her guest.
What a
and
way
you
to
would
give him the
not
finger.
go exactly, but it's like,
Yeah.
well, you can hurt me, but you know what? I'm giving you something for free, and that means you actually have to be really nice
To me now at the awards and watch me get and watch me win the Entertainer of the Year award as the youngest female ever. Bitches.
I love
I know.
it.
So she's touring. Her international dates haven't been announced yet, but we'll definitely be going to her concert when she does come out.
Nat's seen her.
I wish we'd seen her when she was at the Gabba a few years ago.
We saw Adele though, remember? That was amazing.
We did see Adele. That was fantastic. What's your story at first article you done, bitch?
Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about, actually I'll leave that till later. Let's talk about Netflix.
My house.
Ad subscriptions going live today. Did you know about that?
No.
So for $4 less, you can now get a subscription in Australia where you get ads on your subscription. So they'll commit to only one ad per show. Right. The ad can be up to between 5 and 15 minutes, I think it was. Yeah. I think it's depending on how long the show is. Like, I think if it's like a 30-minute show, ad. Yeah, I think it can go up to that. But they're also only doing it so there's only certain advertising people that they're letting buy spots.
Yeah, it's not like going to be Macca's and Uber Eats.
So if you're watching like some abstract show, chances are you're not going to get any ads on them because the advertisers aren't interested in putting their ads on those niche programs. It's only like your Game of Thrones is on binge anyway. Whatever's the biggest show on Netflix
Stranger
at
Things
the moment.
And shit like that.
Exactly. Yes, it's only going to be Stranger Things. But so you can still keep so if you've got an existing subscription, then you're cool. Like, you're not going to get ads. But if you want, like, if you're someone who's trying to save some cash, trying to live a little bit frugally, then if you can save $4 a month by getting the ad subscription, I'll tell you right now, I hope I'm never that poor.
I'm not going to be doing it.
Because I fucking hate ads more than anything in the world.
I know. And do you remember Foxtel went down that route? It used to be no ads, and now all of a sudden Foxtel's just full of ads. And
it's such a shit product. I hate it so much. It's so terrible. So not worth the ridiculous amount that they get you for. But have you ever watched Tubi, Tubi?
I've seen it, but I don't think I've really watched shit on there.
So it's pretty much got everything on it, because we tried to watch. Do you ever remember the show Outrageous Fortune, the New Zealand show, the crime show?
No.
Not the movie. It's the crime show where it's like the Darrow Auckland family. I've talked to you about this when I came to visit you, and I'm sure I've had this conversation. It's really, really good. It's funny. Like, it's like they're just really rough. They're dealing in drugs, they're robbing people and stuff like that. And then the mum decides they're all going to go on the straight and narrow, but none of the kids listen to it. This awesome show went for heaps of scenes, but you can't get it anywhere. And I found it on Tubi, and Tyler and I didn't realize what it was because it was like free download. Yeah. So we started watching it. It's
free, isn't it? Yeah.
It's fully free, but it's full of ads.
Right.
So like every 10 minutes, there's 5 ads, and then 10 minutes, there's another 5 ads, and then 10 minutes, there's another 5 ads. So you're literally like rocking. You're like,
I can't do this. Because
we're not really used to ads. Like, even when I watch Maths, it kills me the amount of ads that are in it. Like, I'm just like, it's enough to even distract me to the point I feel like I have to just walk away and do something else, and then I'm just not going to come back and watch it.
Yeah. That's why I like to always start those shows halfway into it, half an hour into it, so I can just fast forward them.
Yeah, because they recap most of the stuff anyway, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, I thought that was noteworthy. So if you want to have a cheaper subscription, then you can by $4 cheaper.
So it's about $50 less a year, really.
Yeah, you're saving some money if you're willing to watch dumb ads. I'm not. You can have my $50 Netflix, although I'm on Tyler's mum's subscription, so I'm not paying for it anyway.
Do you see they're bringing in something where they're going to be able to, they're trying to stop that? Where they can see the different IPs from different areas, or they'll get a family subscription where they have to pay more if you're going to have people watching it from different areas. Yeah.
Fuck you guys. But also thanks, Lily Jones. I love you. Please don't go to the ad subscription though.
I'll have to cancel my account.
Otherwise, I'll have to buy my own.
And nobody wants that. All right, so my next one, I think we'll do the Vale Leslie Jordan. We'll get that one sorted before we get too trashed.
Yes. Oh my God, so
Such
sad.
a sweetie. So on October 24th this year, 2022, at approximately 9:30 a.m., while driving en route to film scenes at the Call Me Cat set, Jordan's car hit the side of a building in Hollywood.
So random and crazy, isn't it?
It is. He was believed to have experienced a medical episode, so maybe a heart attack or something, that led to the crash. Oh. Jordan was pronounced dead at the scene. He was 67 years old. He was an absolute icon, especially for the gays. And I've loved him ever since Will and Grace, which
loved him.
Oh, he was the best. What she won an Emmy for his role as Beverly Leslie. Why Beverly Leslie?
Such a great character. Him and Karen together used to just make me wet myself laughing.
Anytime you just hear him, in the background. Well, and she'd just see her eyes roll, and she'd be like, "Oh." And his associate Benji, the gay guy, because he was married to a woman in Will and Grace just for the money as well, like Karen was to fucking Stan. But also during his appearances in American Horror Story and, of course, RuPaul's Drag Race, where he'd appear as a judge. So some little history about him. So growing up, his father was in the US Army Reserve and died in an airplane crash in 1967 when Leslie was just 12 years old.
He was very close with his family too, wasn't he?
He was, but he said that his mother, who also passed away earlier this year in May, aged 86, was supportive and accepting, despite never truly understanding him. Though he had a difficult time growing up Southern Baptist and was baptized 14 times, he said every time a preacher would say, "Come forward, sinners," he'd think, "Oh, I was out in the woods with that boy. I better go forward." He began his career in 1986, appearing in the series The Fall Guy. Do you remember that? I remember the name The Fall Guy. I hadn't seen it though. And he also had guest appearances in shows like Murphy Brown, Lois and Clark, Star Trek, Caroline in the City. Do you remember that?
I do. I used to love Caroline in the City. So Will and Grace wasn't the first time I'd ever seen him before. It's the most memorable character that I have in him, but I do definitely remember him popping up in things from time to time.
Yes, and that's the same thing. Like I remember when I'd see him in Will and Grace, I was like, "Oh, that little dude." But Will and Grace was his major fucking reoccurring thing that he got superstardom through. He was in Pee-wee's Playhouse, Reba, Boston Public, Boston Legal, and another fave of mine, Ugly Betty. Oh. He became an activist early on during the AIDS crisis, doing food delivery for the sick. Vale Leslie Jordan, you will be missed.
That's so sad. I'd like to add something to that because I've read quite a bit about him since his death, and because again, I talk about this all the time. I'm a massive Instagram person, and I follow a lot of stars, particularly the Will and Grace people, their partners. Like heaps of people who are sort of, how like movie stars have their own little friend cliques, like they're all sort of friends with each other, and you wouldn't really necessarily think that certain people are friends with certain people, but they are really close.
Yes.
Well, there's just been heaps of like posts all week since his death about all these things and all these achievements that he's done
to him. Yeah.
And I was reading the thing from Megan Mullahy, who was Karen, and her post, and then she referenced, what he was doing in the pandemic. So he went back to, it's Texas, isn't it? Where's he from?
He's Tennessee? From the South. Yeah.
It was somewhere like that anyway. So he went back during COVID, I think because of his family roots and stuff. And if his mum only died last year.
This year,
he would have probably went back, for her. So he was in the family home at the start of COVID and pretty much got stuck there, like lots of people did.
Yeah.
So he was from Tennessee. So he went back to Tennessee, and I think that he had like brothers and sisters and things like that, and they were all in the same location. So he went back there to be with family at COVID, then got stuck there like lots of people did. Anyway, so we started doing, Instagram posts and all online posts and stuff like that. And lots of them were
TikTok
like, how y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
So this just happened.
And he grew this cult following through the pandemic of people who just tuned in to see his "How you're doing" message every day or every couple of days that he did it, because he'd always say something funny about his youth or something funny about his life in Tennessee, and then always, you know, have a little bit of like how he was struggling too and why he was struggling and what, you know, his particular challenges were in the pandemic, what was happening with him. And, you know, he started to actually build a career out of it. And then when things started to resume again, he was like massively in demand, more than he ever had been in his career, just by touching people's lives through sharing his experiences, which I thought was just so fucking beautiful. And I was like, oh, why are the good ones taken so soon?
I know, like fucking Putin, take him out for fuck's sake. Do you know?
Totally.
And apparently too, he'd just bought his first ever house that he'd owned just weeks before he died. Yeah.
So everything was coming up roses for him, and then he just died. It's just so tragic and sad.
I guess he went out on top.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. He'd fought many years to have a successful career, and he actually achieved all that in the end, didn't he? Bless his little heart.
Bless his little tiny heart.
Yes, it's very sad. Very sad.
Well, well, well. By Beverly Leslie.
Anyways, okay, what's my next one? All right, so I'm going to talk about this, and then I'm going to urge you to watch it so you can give me my opinion. Have you seen?
So I can give you your opinion.
I mean, you can.
I can't wait to give you your opinion. Trust me, Sky. No. That's not what you think. This is what you think, you stupid bitch.
How many times have we had that argument?
I'm glad to see you're now finally on board.
Have you seen? Do you know the Luckiest Girl Alive movie? Do you know it's got Mila Kunis in it?
I want to watch it. And Sarah Michelle Gellar, is she in it?
No. You're thinking of the
Divorce
one,
or.
You're thinking of the teeny bopper one who's got the chick out of Stranger Things, Ethan Hawke's daughter.
Right, yeah.
And then the other dark-haired one who's in Riverdale, and Sarah Michelle Gellar's the mother. Right,
yes.
So that's a TV series, Revenge or something.
Series. I have seen previews for Luckiest Girl Alive though. Any good?
So it's been coming up on my feed and lots of things. Everyone's talking about how amazing it is. It's like this groundbreaking movie, and groundbreaking, and it was. Do you know when I listen to the podcast, when I catch up on the episodes and re-listen, I hear us stumble over our words so many times.
Oh my god!
And there's so many times like I'm giggling, going, but we don't pick up on it. We just like push through, but we actually fuck our words.
I know.
Probably about 60% of the time.
Yeah, especially the big ones.
We're terrible at articulating ourselves.
Our articulation needs work. You're dead right.
We get really excited, and I guess we don't notice that when we're talking to each other normally, that if we stumble over our words, because that's just how we've always spoken to each other. And
sometimes it's a complete wrong word too, like just through the changing of one letter, but it changes the whole meaning of the word.
And our mispronunciation is so bad.
It's on point, actually.
Anywho, so then Tyler and I are back doing that whole you pick a movie, I pick a movie, neither of us can complain. Okay. So he picked the very first original Batman the other night.
Doesn't hold up.
I actually enjoyed all the Batmans. I liked the Val Kilmer one. I thought I liked the Michael Keaton ones. Certainly loved the George Clooney ones. The first one's bad. It's really bad. It hasn't aged well at all.
It was so good at the time.
Yes. And look, Jack Nicholson's Joker is very scary. I'll give it that. And that's what, coined everything after, but also comically scary in lots of good ways.
Totally.
The special effects are laughable. Laughable.
I look forward to seeing it again.
Like you can see like the ropes and stuff in the background. Oh god, it's bad. Anyway, so that was his pick.
Batman Returns though.
Yes.
Danny DeVito and Michelle Pfeiffer. That was a great one.
Yeah, so I'm going to push through, but I'm telling you, the first one does not hold up.
Okay.
But I still love Michael Keaton. Anyway, so my pick last night was Luckiest Girl Alive, and we watched the trailer first just to see.
Yeah, make sure.
It looks really cool, like really twisty, and it starts and it's really twisty. Like she's talking about how fucked up she is. You know, she's fantasizing, so she's about to get married to like this perfect man. Everything's super, super wealthy. She's, you know, tried to get the absolute best for herself, and she's succeeded. She's about to start as a job as an editor at the Times, yada, yada, yada. And she's fantasizing about stabbing him, like literally stabbing him on the ground, and he's covered in blood, stabbing him in the hand when they're out for dinner and all this sort of stuff. So it's full psychopath sort of shit, right? So we're into it. And it's one of those ones that gives you drips and drabs and bits of the story, and you're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that can be frustrating though sometimes, can't it?
So it was building, and the ending was just...
Oh, that is disappointing.
But it went in I don't want to say political, because that's not the right word. It went into a direction, and like, are you going to watch it? I'll tell you if you're not going to watch it.
No, tell me, because we're not going to watch it.
So basically, there's this school shooting.
Okay.
And they're doing a documentary on the side while she's living her perfect life, and they want her to be part of this documentary. And then she decides to do it because she needs to confront what happened. And again, you see drips and drabs of what happened. But it ended up that she was gang raped, right? And then 2 boys who were also picked on by the same group of boys who gang raped her ended up shooting up the school and pretty much shooting all the boys who were involved in the gang rape. And one of them survived and ended up in a wheelchair. And then he was a bad kid that made his life out of... He went into politics, he became anti-gun control laws, has like this cult following, but also told the media that she was an accomplice to the shooting, which she wasn't. But she was victimized by these boys, including him.
Yeah.
And then it went down this track right at the end where she ends up writing like this editorial that she gets in the Times about what happened to her, which was really traumatic, what happened to her. And then it all just wraps up with that whole storyline. You don't see anything more of what happened to the bad guys or anything like that. It's all about her victim story, other people's victim stories, which is really tragic and really sad. But it wasn't the story that we entered into for.
Yeah. That you wanted answers to.
Yes, we entered in because it was crazy. It was psychological thriller. That's where it was going, and we were ready for that kind of film. And it ended up into a tragic story about a victim and other victims, and how she was liberated by getting her story out there, but never really seeing what happened to the rest of everything else.
Did they try to wrap it up too quickly or something? Or?
Yeah, so that's what Tyler walked off. He said, I'm out. Don't even care anymore.
You're done. Like, we had a deal.
No, he's like, and he went and cleaned the kitchen, so he was let off the hook.
You have to find another shit movie to put on then next week.
Yeah, but it was... I don't recommend, and it was really disappointing because it had a really great like lead up. Yeah,
and I do like Mila Kunis as well.
Yeah, and it had Connie Britton in it as well. She plays the mother.
Oh yes, and she's in American Horror Story as well, and Nashville apparently.
But my point is, I've watched Nashville. Is you just can't believe what people say anymore. When they say something's good and you listen to them, it's fucking shit half the time.
I think some of the trouble is with us is I think when you get to a certain age and you've seen so many movies that you've seen the storylines and all that shit before, you know, when the new movies come out, there's hardly anything that you can actually watch these days. You're like, oh, that was fucking good, unless there's nostalgia involved, unless it's you know, your favorite actors and actresses that you don't give a fuck about. Like Coming to America, the sequel was terrible.
Yeah, but I didn't even bother.
We thoroughly enjoyed it just because, and like they do they mirror a lot what happened in the first movie.
Yes.
Just because it takes you
Same
back
jokes.
to but it just takes you back to that. You're like, but you know, it's hard to find a movie.
When you watch something that is amazing, you literally tell everyone. You're like, hey, watch this amazing movie. Have to watch it. Have to watch it. Have to watch it, because you have to recommend it, because you watch so many shit movies that you're just like, oh, I just want a really good movie.
We watched on Netflix the other night. We were just looking for something easy. It was when we were still sick with COVID, actually. And this movie, it's called Lou on Netflix. Have you seen I, Tonya? About the Tonya Harding story.
Oh, I keep trying to make Tyler watch it with me. I want to, but I haven't.
Oh, it is that now. That is brilliant. You need to watch that stat.
Okay, that'll be my next pick.
The chick who plays the mother in that, Tonya Harding's mother. Yeah, you're going to love it. It's so good. Tyler is going to love it. Okay. Trust me. The chick who plays the mother plays Lou in this movie. It wasn't groundbreaking. It was an easy watch. It's, you know, sometimes you just want a nice movie to watch. You don't have to think too much about. There's some pretty little twists and shit in it, but I'd recommend it as a watch. Lou, Lou.
Okay, I'll put that on my list. All right, what's your next one?
So I'm going to talk about Katy Perry's eye malfunction. Have you seen any of this?
Nothing. I didn't bother researching because I just wanted to hear what you're talking about. I assumed it was like a physical eye, but I wasn't quite sure.
It was a physical eye. So there's this thing, a video that's gone out. She's at a concert and she's performing and she's turning around like this and her eye is stuck together. And she's pushing her temple and the eye opens and then the eye just closes again, this one eye. And it sticks down again. She pushes the temple and it opens and then it sort of just opens and then she goes into performing. It's
fake eyelashes.
Really bizarre. So I'll be sure to post an image, but she caused quite a stir online after the bizarre video of her eye appearing to malfunction went viral across social media.
Malfunction. That's what you say about a machine.
Well, that's what they start getting to. So the footage was captured.
Say go wonky, please. It went wonky.
The footage was captured at one of Katy's recent Las Vegas shows by several concert goers who saw the singer repeatedly pressing her temple as she seemingly struggled to keep her eye open. The video immediately sparked a ton of different conspiracy theories online. Many users guessed that she had been wearing really strong eyelash glue and that her eye was simply stuck closed as a result, but she'd push her temple, which would make it open. It was really bizarre. However, upon watching the video a few more times, several fans started to speculate that something bigger was going on than just a little eyelash glue. They suggested that Katy was a clone or a robot who had been glitching.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
So one of the quotes is, "That's not lash glue doing that. That a clone, fan. And I'm dead ass not playing. That's not the real Katy Perry." One person said, "Katy Perry is definitely a robot and she was definitely malfunctioning on the stage." Another person tweeted, others suggested that her touching her temple was actually an attempt at her resetting herself. While others suggested that she was paying homage to the all-seeing eye of the Illuminati. But I think it was just glue.
Look, anything could happen in this day and age, really, right? Who fucking knows what they're doing behind closed doors with all the money that they have and the AI shit. And...
Do you remember the shit that came out, that rumor about Avril Lavigne, that she died and then they'd cloned her and then they'd replaced her with the lookalike? Because there was a few little changes in her appearance. There's this huge conspiracy theory about it. That Avril Lavigne died early into her career and they just replaced her with another person because she was so huge.
Oh,
and there's
God.
Yeah, I know. I love that shit. that's
crazy.
That. What's your next one?
Okay. The next one, all right, let's do the lions escape from the zoo.
Oh, God.
Now, every piece of information, every time I've read an article about this, all I keep hearing in my head is, who let the dogs out?
Ooh, 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 ooh,
who let the dogs out?
Who let the lions out?
I mean, I know lions have dogs, but that's just what keeps coming to mind every single time. So, look, I feel like the zoo is being completely crucified over this. Did you know it was not for profit? Taronga Zoo? No, I was shocked to hear that. So, like, all the money that they make goes straight back into care of the animals.
Love that.
You said something to me about obviously super wealthy people sleeping the night in a cabin.
Well, I tagged you in that thing. It wasn't in cabins or in tents.
In tents, on the border of the lion enclosure, so they could hear the lions roar, yada yada yada. Imagine how much money that would cost.
It's called the snore and roar experience.
Yeah, that's insane to me. And that they had heard, them call what was the code that they called?
Code 1.
Code 1, yeah.
And did you read what happened?
Yeah, so I know that they breached the fence. Carl Stefanovic, because he's so intelligent and knows everything about everything and such a credible reporter, he was showing footage, apparently, I read in the article, because I don't ever watch any of those dumb news programs. I hate them with a passion. But he was quoted in the fact that he kept showing the footage in the Today Show or whatever the fuck it is, where there was videos of the lions going around and sort of like digging and pushing on the fences at certain places, almost like they were testing for areas of weakness because they were trying to make a break for it, allegedly. But I guess there's something to be said about when because it was cubs, it was one lion and 4 cubs. And one of the cubs had to be tranquilized, but they're all fine. There was no injuries to people. There was no injuries to the animals. They're perfectly unharmed, except for the one that got tranked, but he's fine.
That was obviously not the cub. So I just Googled quickly. It costs $773 per night for 2 adults and 1 child at the Roar and Snore.
That's actually not that ridiculous, is it?
Still a bit. Like, I don't think
like it's still a bit, but like an average, like, you know, if you wanted it that bad, you could buy it. If it was that important to you, you don't have to be. It's not like $7,000 a night. I'm shocked at that. I thought it would be $7,000 a night at least. So they're being totally hammered about
how they got out,
their level, and look, you know, the fact that no one was harmed, the animals weren't harmed. You know, they enacted the
Code 1,
the Code 1. The crisis steps that need to happen says to me that they know their shit. They know what's happening, and you can't. You know, this is animals in captivity. They're animals. They're unpredictable, especially wild jungle animals.
Yeah.
But that thing that you shared with the people sleeping nearby, they were almost like, imagine what would have happened if they got to us. Well, it's tiny baby cubs and one big lion. So
well, and but if the cubs, you know, if you got too close to the cubs, the lion's going to fucking tear you apart.
Absolutely.
And your friend too. Yeah. Speaking of coming to America, do you remember that? I want to tear you apart, and your friend too. I saw though, because I'd seen it when it came out, on the day it came out. It's like, because it all happened within about like early morning, and it was all contained by midday. But all the reports are coming out that afternoon. So you thought there was people, you literally, the way the media put it, was that there was lions roaming the streets of Sydney.
Slow news day. Was slow news day.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, keep going. No, you go.
Say, but then they interviewed some of the people at the Snore and Rural Experience, and they said that they just woke up to people screaming Code 1, zipping up the tent and telling them to just run to the tower now, run to the tower. And they all had to just get nothing and just run straight to the tower. And then they got locked into the tower, and they thought it could have been a emergency evacuation procedure, like a test, because apparently they do that sometimes. Yeah. Imagine that being your experience, a test.
Yeah. I believe there was still another barrier that they had to get through, though. Like, they only breached one barrier. You know, in zoos, they have multiple barriers for the dangerous animals. So it wasn't like they got out and were walking among people. They had breached the first protected barrier when they were captured. So there was still another level that they had to get through to get anywhere near anyone being in danger.
Yeah.
If anything, it was just the park officials who had to get the animals back into the enclosure that were in danger.
And yes, yeah. And just ensure that people were safe, just in case. Could you imagine if a child got taken?
I kept thinking Jurassic Park. Yes. You know, when Jurassic Park, the new version, Jurassic World, number 1, where the really bad one gets out, the one that they've created. Yeah. But the other thing, talking about that Batuta thing that I follow on Instagram that you got me into, so they did a funny post, because it's all, you know, tongue-in-cheek, humorous, about how officials aren't really telling us the full story. So not only did 4 lions get away, but 2 giraffes, a meerkat, a fucking zebra, and something else. And then now they've just found out that a fucking boat is missing from the docks in Sydney Harbour. And based on like the you know, the navigation plan, it's making its way from Madagascar. And I was proper wetting myself laughing. I was like, this is gold. And that's actually how I found out that it was real, because I read that story going, this is funny as fuck.
And
Also,
then saw
seriously, these animals didn't escape from Taronga Zoo. And then I looked up, it was like just the lions. I was like, damn it.
It happened.
That would have been awesome. It was all of them. Anyway, it was quite humorous, particularly that Madagascar thing. And
Yeah, that
also
is funny.
give Taronga Zoo a break. No one was
Yes.
harmed. Let's
It's not
move
for
on,
profit.
things.
So I'm going to talk about Kanye West.
Oh,
Update.
not again.
This bitch is the gift that keeps giving.
Is
If
it
he
the
was a
Jewish
reality
stuff
show,
or is it something else?
it's that plus another tweet that had came out between him and Chloe, which he'd posted again. Well, she went to social media. So a recent tweet between him and Chloe had posted, "Ye or yay, I love you. I don't want to do this on social media, but you keep bringing it here. You are the father of my nieces and nephews, and I'm trying to be respectful, but please stop tearing Kimberly down and using our family when you want to deflect." Again, with the birthday narrative, enough already. We all know the truth, and in my opinion, everyone's tired of it. You know exactly where your children are at all times, and you wanted separate birthdays. I have seen all of the texts to prove it. And when you changed your mind and wanted to attend, you came. Then he replies, all in caps, "You are lying and are liars. You'll basically kidnap Chicago on her birthday so she couldn't remember her father not being there. So there." So there. Y'all also threw a party for Sam's birthday, and when I was flying back from Japan to be there for his birthday, and the first I heard about it was seeing pics of the party online. Also, I should see my children 100% of the time, but since there's a separation, it should have been 50% of the time. Y'all wouldn't have played with Donda like that in Jesus's name. Donda is his mother.
Yeah, I'm aware.
So that had happened, but then also recently, Ye or Kanye delivered a spate of anti-Semitic and anti-Black comments.
It's Ye, please get up with the times.
Ye. Ye or Kanye delivered a spate of anti-Semitic and anti-Black comments on TV shows, podcasts, and social media platforms, which in turn resulted in several companies publicly cutting their ties with the rapper in an effort to distance themselves from his harmful rhetoric. So he posted several anti-Semitic messages, and on Instagram, he posted screenshots of a conversation he had had with Sean Diddy Combs, P. Diddy, in which he accused Combs of being controlled by Jewish people. The post was deleted and Instagram locked his account. West had previously used his Instagram account to disparage his ex-wife, Kim, and her ex-boyfriend, Pete Davidson, who they reckon are secretly still together.
Oh, I hope not.
I kind of hope they are. I love them as a couple.
Oh, I love him. I can't stand her. She makes me want to vomit in my own mouth.
And earlier this year, he was banned from the platform for 24 hours when he used a racial slur against Trevor Noah. West, who used to be an avid Twitter user, then posted on the platform on Saturday for the first time in 2 years after his Instagram ban, and after being welcomed to Twitter by Elon Musk. What a dickhead. West then tweeted, "I'm a bit sleepy tonight, but when I wake up, I'm going to DEFCON 3, as in the number 3. I don't know what that means. DEFCON 3 on Jewish people in capital letters." The funny thing is, I actually
It's a video game, I'm pretty sure, but I don't understand the reference either.
He says, the funny thing is, I actually can't be anti-Semitic because Black people are actually Jew. Also, you guys have toyed with me and tried to blackball anyone who opposes your agenda. The tweet was taken down and his account locked after a few hours of it being up.
Oh, even after Elon Musk said that he wasn't going to, censor him.
Yes, censor anyone.
Just censored him anyway.
He made statements like, in quotes, "I can say anti-Semitic shit and Adidas can't drop me now. Now what? Now what?" Ye said on the Drink Champs podcast, which I hear is nowhere near as good as ours.
I hear that all the time.
Yes, but drop him, they did. Adidas terminated its relationship with Ye on October 24th.
Adidas is shit anyway. Everybody knows it's all about Nike.
Expecting a projected Q4 loss of €246 million.
What a disgusting amount of money.
While the decision hit Adidas hard, Ye lost far more in the breakup. So his billionaire status turned to dust without Adidas,
Mm.
per Forbes magazine or per Forbes org, leaving him with a $400 million estimated net worth, down from 1.9 billion.
Mm.
That is huge.
It's all about the sponsorships, though.
Yes.
Like, if they don't, like, obviously they make a lot of money compared to us with the music, but music, it isn't the money making industry that it used to be. Now it's about sponsorship and
merchandise and
the money that
shit.
they make from music, they have to share with so many other people.
Exactly. Yeah. So plus Adidas owns Adidas owns the design
Roll the
rights.
dice, puss. Get a 6 to me, a 6.
Kanye did, or Ye did, and he got snake eyes. So plus Adidas owns the...
Kill you for calling him Kanye. You know that, don't you? You'd be dead if he heard you call him Kanye to his face. Kanye. Lucky we're not friends with him and we don't see him every day in normal life.
And I know you're listening to this, Kanye, so go fuck yourself. Plus Adidas owns the design rights to Yeezy products, so which is his, designy shit. So yeah,
of course,
it all falls down. Companies from Balenciaga, Foot Locker, Vogue, Anna Wintour, and The Gap to his own talent agency, CAA, have parted ways with him since. It's it's like a real big downfall. There's some, you want to say, oh, it's sad, but it's just like, he's a dickhead.
I don't think that. I think you reap what you sow. I don't have any sympathy for any of them in this situation. I feel like their lives are ridiculous. They behave in a ridiculous manner and they get what they're given.
Yeah.
And really, they still won't go to sleep every day with a couple of $1 million.
Yeah, he's still got $400 million estimated worth.
Just shut the fuck up and get off the socials so we can live our lives. I'm sick of hearing about them.
But oh, come on, it is kind of interesting. The thing that worries me is I actually have real fears that he's going to do some really stupid shit.
I think it's dangerous. I absolutely think it's
dangerous shit. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Physically dangerous shit.
But, it is what it is. Like, he can, if no one's prepared to stop him. Yeah. Fortunately, we live in a different country. So we're not going to run into him on the street. Thank goodness.
Well, not yet. When we become super famous.
No, like, no, you can't come in.
Sorry.
Security.
This house is clean. All right, that's that.
Okay, do I go?
Bitch. Yeah.
Okay, so
that's me done, by the way. So you take us home.
All right. Well, I've got two. I've got two left, but I replaced one of the ones which we actually said in the intro. So, guys, we're not doing Aria Noms. Scrapping that. Sorry if you were waiting out for that. I'm pretty sure you weren't because I don't really know any of the bands that are being nominated anyway. So that's that, and all I'm gonna say about it.
Well, you still mentioned it.
So what I replaced it with was, have you heard about the thing that everybody's talking about, what you can get fined for, which you've always been able to get fined for, but it's just getting a little bit of publicity the last few days?
Okay.
Eating and drinking in the car.
No.
So there's a $575 fine in Queensland if you get caught eating and drinking in your car.
But my hash brown's going to get cold by the time I get home. So
the definition is anything that pulls your attention away from concentrating on the road, but it also means not having two, because you have to have two hands on the wheel. So how I drive.
Yeah,
these fucked. Ones with my other hand back here, even when I'm not eating or drinking. My nan once said to me, because she grips her seat when she gets in the car with me, like she's literally going to die. She said to me one time, she goes, "In all my life, Sky, I've never met anyone who drives one-handed like you everywhere." I was like, "Thanks, Dad. So that's a compliment."
Now hold on, we're taking a corner.
And guys, I don't drive a manual, so it's not because I'm changing gears.
Well, that sort of brings into question that,
So look, that alone is going to obviously get me a $575 fine. $505 fine. But eating and drinking. So if you're holding, let's say, a cheeseburger, let's say you're having a little
That's
chicken
where
cheese.
I went straight to Macca's. Yeah.
You're driving, they can fine you nearly $600. Also, coffee in your hand. Fine. And apparently it's not something new. It's been there forever.
Wow.
It's
They
just
probably
so,
just don't police it as hard.
So Queensland Transport posted it a couple of days ago just to remind people in jest. Like they posted a funny little meme, and I can't remember what the meme was, but this was what they were saying. And then underneath there was heaps of people go, funny that, I saw some police officers coming out of Macca's the other day, and
With a
one of
donut in
them
hand. Yeah.
is eating a hash brown.
Yes. You can't let that shit go cold. That's unfair.
Exactly. God, how many times do you eat and drive?
Yeah. And I keep my eyes on the road. I'm completely stable on the wheel.
Yeah, totes.
But that's funny because there was another thing where you know how you obviously can't use your mobile phone or have it in your hand.
That's understandable though.
Unless you're in park break. But they were saying basically when you go to pay and you use your phone to pay at Macca's, that you're doing illegal activities and you can get fined for that.
But yet all the places allow you to do it. So where's 100%, the responsibility there?
And you're meant to put your car in park break and then do it.
And I feel like the only time you really need to be concerned about that is if there's a copper right behind you.
Doing the same thing.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think you're pretty cool because it's only like the young kids sending you anywhere. They don't give a shit. They don't.
Say your order. Tap. Fuck off to the next window.
Are you using the My Macca's app today?
Yeah. Yes, I am. Thank you. I have 7,500 points.
576 is my code.
I'd like to use my claim my 3/4 pounder.
I have to get my 2 hash browns for $2. Yeah. Okay, so then my very, very last one is going to be, how's your Christmas shopping going, please?
I have done 0 Christmas
shopping. You have to leave in 4 weeks.
Yeah, but we wouldn't be doing Christmas shopping.
4 weeks from tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, 1 month from tomorrow.
On Monday. 4 weeks on Monday. But we'll be getting doing.
So what's your international Christmas requirements? Do you have to give presents to all the fam when you get there? Is that what you do? You're going to do it en route.
Yeah. So with our niece and nephew in Australia, Brady and Tabitha, we used to give them $50, and I always get them a Christmas stocking as well, like a lolly stocking. So I'll leave that with my dad.
That's easy. That's super easy.
Totes easy. Mum and John, sometimes they just really like gift cards nowadays. So it's all very easy in the sense it's that. We'll give our niece and nephews over in Ireland €50 each.
We never do gift cards. We always go next level, elaborate.
Yeah. See, with Vinny and I, it's never.
I know how much effort you guys put into it. Yes.
We have usually if we're at home, we'll have our Christmas stocking hanging up. And we have a $50 budget each to just fill that with shit, basically. Shit that we want, but shit.
Yeah.
And
snacks,
then we have a big
something that is funny. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And then we have a budget on a proper present. But I tell him what I want. He tells me what I want, that type of deal.
Oh, yeah, right. So last year I told him that I wanted this electric brush that he got me.
Yeah.
But the rest
you
of it
scored
was
well last year.
Oh, I did so well. I got the laptop. I got the electric brush.
You got Eurovision tickets.
Accommodation. There
the
was
headset,
more
the podcast
stuff.
set, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah. No, I had. But I got a new set of heads.
Yes.
I had this. I got my Jurassic Park shirt, which I absolutely love. A bunch of other stuff, heaps of stuff. He always spoils me. But yeah, we do the same with the stockings. But I do it. I do Link's and Tyler's and mine.
Nice.
Just do a bunch of random shit. But yeah, I have a box of stuff. So I pick up stuff. So now I'm in mode where I see something. I'm like, that will make a great gift. And then I collectively come together. So sometimes I have someone specific in mind that I'm buying certain things for.
Yep.
But then other times I'm like, that's a great gift. I'm going to put it in my gift box, and then I'm going to figure out who I haven't brought gifts for when I'm coming to organize it all, and I'm going to chuck it to someone who will suit at the time.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. But
See, we'll do a lot of shopping while we're on a holiday. Like we're going to Strasbourg, the Christmas market. So we're going to buy a lot of gifts at that to take then back to bring back to Australia and distribute.
But you're right, though. I guess the kids, especially the kids, like the older kids that you're going to see in Ireland, like they're going to be happy with cash or
they
a gift
want
card.
cash, yeah.
But
and
like you're going to get
said,
something really nice for Vinny's dad, and you know, like they're the people that you're going to make the nice gift for. But the kids,
they like Brady's saving up for a car for when he gets his license, so the $50 for him is perfect.
It's
you know,
money to go into the kitty. Yeah,
exactly. And Tabby always likes to buy some fashion thing, or you know, or she'll tell me a new ring she wants and stuff, and it's usually around the $50 mark, so we'll get her that or something. Yeah.
But it was funny. I was looking last night because I was just going through records because we always get Aaron a record, and I like records for Christmas, and I was just having a bit of a squeeze because online shopping is my absolute passion in life. And
hence the Amazon account. Love that.
Yeah,
Free delivery.
Yes, I love it. Because delivery with Amazon actually ends up being really expensive if you don't have the Amazon account.
Yeah,
like it's
which
quite
is
a
like
joke.
$9 a month. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you buy multiple things, it's not necessarily cheaper because it comes from multiple suppliers. So you know you're paying for each supplier. So I was looking at records and I wanted to order one that I couldn't get in store that was just from their warehouse, and their next delivery was the 4th of December.
For Vinny?
No, so that was the pre-order. So this was the record that I just wanted to get.
Yeah.
That I was thinking about getting for Aaron, and also a separate one for Sarah. And both delivery dates were, unless I wanted to pay express shipping, I just refused to pay.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm sorry.
Well, usually
just increases the value of the gift. Like you can't buy anything extra.
2 days earlier or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So normal shipping was the 4th of December.
But that's okay, isn't it?
Yeah, but like, I'm thinking online shopping, it's starting to wig me out. Do you know what I mean? Like that gap is closing. If we are on the 4th of November and something online from, and this is JB Hi-Fi, something online from JB Hi-Fi isn't coming until the 4th of December. Like I have like a couple of weeks left to get stuff because all the places are going to be like, yeah, our Christmas shipping is closed.
Yeah, you're done.
You've got no chance.
Yeah.
Like, but that Backstreet Boys one that I sent you, it was a pre-order. It's not officially released until the 2nd of December. So then it was postage time on top. So you'd probably get it for Christmas if you were in Australia, if you were lucky.
Yeah. And FYI, like I know he likes the BTVs, but he wouldn't like probably play the Christmas album.
I know, but that's because I just assumed he was a super Christmas head like you are, but no, I guess not.
He just supports my Christmas activities. Well, I force him to.
Of course. Anyway, so Christmas is upon us, guys. Here we go.
And I can't wait for our Christmas special.
I know. So,
well, thanks for listening in. Well, thanks for listening in. Well, thanks for listening in. We hope you enjoyed our take on the month that was and the drunken hilarity that we threw in for free.
Not as drunk as we usually are, though, I have to say. Normally, we're way more maggot for this segment.
That's because of stupid Sarah Jessica Parker's alcohol-free wine, which you'll hear about in the next episode.
Dumb wine, don't recommend.
Tune in next week as we continue our international true crime journey and land in the land of England and discuss some truly heinous crimes that shook the nation.
Don't forget to rate and review us on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Hopefully, ours plus Stupid Bitches. Every review helps us in our fun little project. Good night, you stupid bitches.
Good night.
Good night.
Oh. Yeah, that stupid bitch. He's a stupid bitch. What a stupid bitch. That stupid bitch.